Hey everyone, this is Syntax. Now, as you may already know, quarantine has creators putting out a lot of content right now, a lot of different content. There's some escape rooms, quite a few death runs. There's some horror maps out there, and a few mini games, here and there. But that's not why I'm here today. No. I want to show you guys how to make a Zone Wars in Fortnite Creative. Let's get into it. Now, before we get into any of the mechanical stuff, unfortunately, we have to mess with the settings if we want any of this to make sense. So, we got to get to the boring stuff first, and then we can take a look at how all the storm functions and all the class functions work. So, if I pull up my controls here, my map settings, we got to go through a game, we got to go through settings, we got to change some stuff, okay? So, let's get it. Voice chat, team, that means you could talk to everyone, doesn't matter if they're on your team or not. We're going to have this be free for all for this Zone Wars because you want to spawn in random places. I'll get into that later. Team size, dynamic, there's no team size though. We're going to have this be none, and we're also going to have this be end of game, even though it doesn't matter because there's no default class. We can spawn an infinite amount of times, and we want to go to spectator if we join late. Our total rounds is going to be whatever you want that to be. Maybe you want 5 rounds, maybe you want 10 rounds. I don't know. Whatever you want it to be, we're going to have it be 5 because why not? Not going to be any team rotation. The end of the game. Oh, we don't want to end game on match point win, so have that set to no. Our time limit, if you want a time, I don't think we're going to need a time limit because we're going to have a closing storm, but that'll be okay. Fastest time to win, have this disabled. All teams will finish, have this to no. Now our win condition can either be most score or most round. I'll get into that in just like 30 seconds. So elimination to end off, creature eliminations off, objective to end off. All this is off. Last standing ends game. You want this to be on, especially if you have like a ton of people, because that means after everyone's eliminated, it is going to end the game. During progress, you want them to spectate, spawn location, the spawn pads. You want your post-game spawn location to be the pre-game spawn locations, which is if you have like a lobby before you actually start the game, you want them to spawn there. Have this set to no, this set to, well, I mean, if you want them to start immediate or have some time before it actually starts, you can set that. Now, I have this to off, but you can have it so like before the game starts, it goes to 3 seconds. But that is off for mine. We don't want them to allow out of bounds. That should be off. Now this is where the score wins or rounds wins. So if you have it set to rounds win, it's going to be obviously whoever wins the most rounds. But if you have it set to score win, like let's say you get 10 points per kill, whoever has the most score at the end of all the rounds is going to win. And that is it for game. If we head into settings now, none of this matters. Your starting health and max health should be kind of like it is in Battle Royale, 100% health and no shields, but you can get up to 100 shields. We don't have infinite ammo or resources, but I'm having it 500 because that's what it is in Arena. And I'm making it Battle Royale times 2 because that's also what it is in Arena. Allow aim assist, yes. Building, we want to have all. And then we want to allow edit just to default, because if you have it to anyone, then they can edit your builds, and you don't really want that. Building can destroy environment, yes. Environmental damage, all. Structure damage, all. Weapon destruction, 100%. Pickaxe destruction, default. PvP pickaxe, on. Down but not out. You're going to be able to drop and pick up items, so all this. And you want them to drop their items as well, so you can pick them up. So this is drop, yes. Respawn time is 1 second, even though you're not going to be respawning, so that really doesn't matter. Fall damage, you can have it be off or on, doesn't really matter, depending on how you want your map to play. I'm going to have it on for now. Normal gravity, normal jump fatigue. I don't have glider redeploy, but you can have it if you want. We don't want them to show any of your names or locations, so have that always hide. And then you can mess with this as well. You can give like 50 health per elim, or you can give like 15 wood for elim. You can mess all this stuff. You give 999 stone, whatever. This just gives you stuff once you've eliminated a player. And then this, we want to show all of our resource count and our maximum equipment slots. You can mess with that as well. You can have it only be like 3. You can have it be zone override, which will just keep it how it normally is. So, enough of the boring stuff. Let's get into how you actually make the Zone Wars. This is Zone Wars. You're going to need 2 things. Okay, you can find them in the creative menu. In devices, we head down. We're going to want the advanced version of both these. The advanced storm controller, as you can see in the bottom right, and the advanced storm beacon. Now, place these on top of each other. Place them where you want your players to start, okay? And you're gonna increase the radius depending on how many players you want to be able to play. So if I go ahead and into this advanced storm controller, this is our controller, head over, we want it to generate right away, as soon as the game starts, right away. Now have this set to custom because we're gonna be putting our own phases in, and this size is gonna vary on how many, how spaced out you want your spawn locations to be. So you want spaced out spawn locations, you have this to be 75, but for this example, I'm gonna have it be 40. Delay time, have no delay time, because once again, we want it to start, we want it to pop up as soon as the game starts. And then on finished behavior, we're going to have it to stay. You can have it destroy things, but I don't even know what that does in all honesty, so just have it stay. Your bonus radius just has to be bigger than whatever phase 1 radius is, so don't worry too much about that, and then this we can ignore because it doesn't really matter. Now, under that, we're going to need our advanced storm beacon. So basically what this is going to be our phase controller. So our end radius for this one, I have it set to 30, so the storm's going to shrink when it goes here, right? I have the wait time is how many seconds or how many minutes you want it to sit there before it actually transitions and starts moving again. So I have it 5 seconds. So once it moves this first phase, gonna wait 5 seconds, then it's gonna go. It's gonna take 30 seconds to get there, and I'll show you where it's going here in a second. And I have the damage to 2%. You can change this. You can have it be 10% from the start. You can have it lower like I do for 2%, and then have it increase later. And then we want it to move to beacon. You can have it move randomly, and if you do, then this stuff will matter, but we don't. So have it move to beacon. Now, your second beacon is where it's actually going to move. If you just keep this, the storm is just going to shrink in on itself. It's just going to end right here, and we don't want that. We want a moving Zonewars. So I have my second beacon here, right? I'll head over to this. This is phase 2, right? I also have this end radius is 30 meters because I'm having it linked up with my first beacon, and I have the wait time 5 seconds again, and I have it to resize time also 30 seconds, but I have it doing more damage, right? So I still have this moving to beacon. The other move to beacon is seeing, okay, this is phase 1, where are we moving to? So when you put move to beacon, it sees that, okay, we're gonna move to the beacon, and it says phase 2, because obviously 2 comes directly after 1. But regardless, so it's gonna move here, and then for my final phase of my storm, we have phase 3. It's gonna move there after it moved to my second beacon. I have this 5 meters. You can have it, I think if you have it 0 meters, it won't actually move to it. So have this 5 meters, or however small you want it. I guess you can only go to 5 meters. But have the resize time be whatever you want, depending on where the map is, depending on how you want it to play. I have it at 10%, but you could have it at 50% if you want, and have it be moved to beacon. Now, when you have a Zonewars map, obviously you want classes. So the storm isn't just what's working here. It's going to be giving players random players random classes, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that right now. So peep the spawn pad, right? Obviously you're going to have multiple of these, and then you're going to have what the spawn pads do change depending on where you spawn. But if I click on this, I kind of want to have this on gameplay only, so I'm only going to spawn on it when I am in the game. Team, this is important. It has to be, anyone can spawn on it. That's where the randomness comes in. Priority group none, uses an island start. I have it using as an island start, but you would want this turned off because this is like pre-game stuff, and I don't have it visible during games as well. So I have this when players spawn, transmit on channel 1. Now what the heck is that doing? Well, if we head over to our item granter, this is exactly what it's doing. So this, as you can see, I have it grant item when receiving from 1. So those are linked up. So as soon as a player spawns on that, it is going to, this item granter is going to see that, and it's going to give them everything in this. Now, here's what you have to do. Here's the settings, right? We want to enable it on Game Store, of course, and we only wanted to give it triggering player. If we have it all players, that means when you spawn, everyone's going to get this class, and you don't want that. You just want the triggering player, right? On grant action, we want to keep all the items even though they don't have anything, and I have grant all items. Now, this is going to give them everything you put in this item granter in the order you put it in. So keep in mind, if you put Scar and then minis and then a pump, and then it's going to put it in that exact order in their inventory. So be careful how you put them in the item granter, because that's going to matter. Okay, grant condition always. We don't want this to be anything. Grant on cycle, yes. Equip granted items. So if this is on don't equip, you won't get anything. So have it be the first item, and this will give them all the items in the order that you put it in. There's no items to remove on grant, so this doesn't matter. But I just have it set to no, just because why not? Give extra ammo, yes. If you want to put even more ammo in the granters, you can, because it will give them everything in it if you have it set to give them all the items. But yeah, that's just have it so that it gives extra ammo just in case. And cycle behavior stops, so this will just stop it, even though it's only going to be activated once. And yeah, that is how you give people classes. So this class particularly, I think, is a Scar, Pump, a P90, 2 bigs, a Slurpfish, and some mats. But like, this is just for that spawn point. If you wanted to have a different class, you would have this be set to channel 2, and then it would obviously have, you'd have one of these, except the only difference would be it would be given on channel 2, and then when a player spawns there, they'll get that specific class. So what does this look like? Well, let's actually take a look at what it looks like. So as you're going to see, I'm going to spawn in. Storm's going to be right there, and as you can see, I have all my guns and all my stuff in order. And there's my 500 mats for everything. So that is the, as you can see, it had 5 seconds before it started moving, and now it's moving to our place second beacon. As you remember, I have them invisible in game, but our first beacon was right about there, and I have the second beacon right over here. It's going to move to that radius that I wanted to resize. As you remember, our first storm circle was 40, now it's going to 30, and it's right about here. So my second beacon's right around here, and when it gets here, again, I have it to wait 5 seconds, and the resize time is also going to be 30 seconds. So as you can see, it's going to wait 5 seconds, and then it's going to go to my third storm beacon, which I have right over here. Obviously, these can be as far spaced out as you want, and the time it takes to resize is going to affect how fast the zone goes. So just keep that in mind when you're building your Zonewars maps, because like, obviously if you have this across the map and it takes 30 seconds to get there, it's going to go extremely fast. So just be cognizant of it. Like I don't know, keep in mind how fast the zone is going, because if it's too fast, people are going to hate it. And keep in mind, you don't have to be a creator to make these Zonewars or anything. All you have to do is have the ability to get any creative game, and you'll be able to make it. You know, you don't have to actually have the ability to publish any of these. So that is how you make a Zonewars, right? Anyway, this has been Syntax. Later.